It's round three, everybody. We are on the draw. Our opponent has kept. We are going to keep as well. We have a very permission heavy hand, but we can at least back that up with Cloud of Fey. It looks like blue-black. I don't know if it's dedicated control or if it's more like Delvers and Gurmag Anglers and stuff. So we have some things to think about. The third land is probably something we want. The Piracy Charm is only going to kill a Delver, but we have a snap for that also. So I think we can do away with the Charm, and I think we can keep the land. We're eventually going to want to get up to more than 2 lands. So let's do that. And find out what's going on. Delver, Brainstorm. Ooh, so it may just be a traditional control deck, which actually might be pretty dang hard to beat. So we're going to find out. He played his land already. And then what did he just do? He's thought scoured himself, got a treasure cruise and a deprive. So now we have an opening to at least play our threat. And next turn we can possibly play a Bone Splitter, depending on what he does. We have a lot of answers to Angler, so if he's going that route, and he must be because he's doing Thought Scours and stuff, and Brainstorms, I think we actually have a pretty decent matchup. If he was just dedicated control, draw a million cards, play 10,000 removal spells, have very few win conditions, I think we'd be in trouble. I chose not to counter that because it looks like he's setting up for a cruise or an angler, and I'd rather try and answer that. But if he doesn't, I'm just going to flash in Spellstutter Sprite anyway. Our mana is going to be too tied up for us to really want to. So he lets it happen. We have a Piracy Charm. I'm not sure I really want to fight over the Bone Splitter. I mean, we can. But we really want to fight over his next play. If we play Bone Splitter, he's just going to counter it, and that's going to be the end of it. Instead of what we want to happen, well, I guess that's one less counter for him. I'm really not sure, but I'm going to just pass. What we want to happen is him to fight over some other stuff. So this just draws him 1. So that's fine. And I don't know what this Piracy Charm's going to ever do. Thought Scour on his upkeep. Okay. So now what? So it looks like he might Angler. We're going to try and counter it. He's going to counter back. We have a Snap. So we try and counter this, right? Yeah. If we go for Snap, he just counters it. Ooh, Deprive is even better. So now I can Ninja him if I want. I can also Snap. He's got 4 in the yard already, so it'll take up his whole other turn. But I could also just play Bone Splitter, which I think is the better play. And we take 5 from him. We can also Snap it. 4, so this costs 3. Maybe that's actually better. I think I'm going to wait. I'm not going to wait. There's no better snap target. Like, we could snap our own guy, but who cares? I don't want to do that. It just doesn't matter. If he's going to kill it with the removal spell, then that's fine. The only cards that matter in his deck I've found are the Angler, the Treasure Cruises. Sometimes Delvers and Jeskai Sages can be a problem, but in this case, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. We're winning the race by a lot. So if I draw a land, I Ninja. If I don't, I equip the Cloud. Maybe he disfigures. It's kind of looks like he's gonna counter back up his Jeskai Sage. This gets prowess. So I can counter this right now, which gives him a free angler for how much... He's going to have an angler anyway, so that's fine. Get our board, get some damage in, make him have to block all this stuff. If he's not playing Mole Drifter, he's going to be in trouble. So it looks like he's going to get a free angler. Pretty much free. Have some counters backed up. But if we have a land, like I said, we can just ninja him, which is not amazing because he does have guys on the ground that can block it. But his development's just a little slow here. Okay. Yep. Yep. We can race that pretty damn well. Here's a ponder. I want to use it. I want to get some lands. Ooh, a snap. All this stuff seems good except there's no lands. I guess we can try and snap on his EOT. We want the Delver at some point. I think we do this. So now we have the option of snapping on his EOT if we don't counter something. And then we also have another counter spell next turn if we do counter something. And we want to put him pretty low. We're getting close to wanting to snap and make sure we don't die because we're going to go down. We might go down to like 10 or something. Let's see what happens here. Is he going to make us take damage? No. So EOT I'm going to try for snap. I think that's okay. Try it. Huge tempo play. We can also Piracy Charm a Sage to kill it. Another Deprive. Does he not have Counterspell? I don't think it's an expensive card, so it's a little puzzling. It's Zen Step. We have another counter. So how do we lose? Probably just want to kill one of his guys here. Make him go to 3. Then anybody we equip dies. Yeah, I think we kill one of his guys, but only after we attack. I don't think he can do 12 to us. That's the first time I can recall outright killing a Jeskai Sage, but I think it's because the clock right now is insane, and I don't think he can get this up to 6, so... Next play he makes, I'll try and counter, because I gave him 2 cards. There's no way he can get it up to 6, right? That's 8. So if we counter this... We know he has a land, right? Did he play his land? He hasn't played his land yet. So if I counter this, he has 6 in the yard and he can just treasure cruise. Here he's going to have 7. I'm going to let him have this. And I'm going to counter the treasure cruise. We go pretty low, but we go down to 9 or to 3. Okay, so we narrowly win that. Basically, how did we win that? He had no answers to any of this stuff. He had one disfigure. It's kind of crazy. So we expect things along the lines of Evan Carr's Justice, Shrivel, and stuff like that. Personally, I haven't had a huge amount of problems with facing this deck. I have lost a couple times because the anglers, if they're quick enough, can just really beat you into the ground. But the things I like to bring in, because his mainstays are Delvers and Jeskai Sage, I think Arrows is actually pretty good, and it also can shrink the angler down to like a 3/3 that Spire Golem can stop. Curse of Chains works good on him. Stormbound Geist just gets around the removal. Still want some copies of Snap. And I usually like to bring in Relics actually as well. But he's got so much interaction with the yard, it's kind of interesting. You know, I don't want to give up all the Delvers either. Or sorry, the ninjas. We do want snap in some capacity. So maybe we go 1 and 1 here. But between arrows and bone splitter, it's a good way to keep those anglers down. Also snap. I think we're going to try this on the draw. We're a little threat light. That's something to consider, but I'm going to try it like this. We need to respect the angler enough to actually bring some removal in. So our opponent kept 7. This hand is kind of sketchy for us because it has a 4-drop, a bunch of 2-drops, so we're going to actually have to mulligan this. And this hand we can keep because we have some manipulation. We don't have like a lot of our top end, so the plan is to draw into that later. I'm going to start with the ponder. And we don't want any of this because we want to land. Okay, we got about 4 more cards to try and find a land. The next one we draw. 2 off of the preordain is equals 3, and then if we bottom both of those, we could get another land. Okay, and we have an opening here to get Cloud of Fey and counter his next play if we draw an island. Does not happen. So we have an island. I don't think we want the 3rd preordain, so we'll keep the island. 2 delvers. Yeah, I think that's probably against his particular deck. Not a lot of blockers against flyers from what I've seen, so kind of liking this. So if he does a Thought Scour here, he can't get Angler yet. Alright, cool. So I think we're in good shape. We're going to resolve a bunch of threats next turn as long as he doesn't have... And maybe we need to play around Nausea, because that could be a huge beating. Just a 3-for-1 right off the bat. It's kind of nuts. If we don't do that, we could be in trouble. He's going to duress us. Okay, so he gets a snap. I think we have to go for it. Not have to, but I think I'm going to choose to go for it. Could be a mistake. Yep, obviously just take snap. We could also leave up Cloud of Fey, but then, we have snap for his angler too. So maybe we just leave up Cloud of Fey. Play a bit conservatively. We can flash in Sprite. And we have 2 Delvers though. I could really do a number on him. If he plays a Delver... Ooh. So now I'm a little more interested in playing my guys out, but he's 1 away from Justice. We don't have any counters for an angler. We have that snap though. So that's interesting. I think I'm going to go for it, guys. What do you guys think? Should I do it? I'm really afraid. We lose 3 cards if he just plays... I'm going to play around it. I'm going to play around it. But it might make us suffer. So here comes Treasure Cruise. Interesting. Alright, you got it. He's away from playing Angler, and we can counter his next threat. Alright, I'm just going to flash this in. Okay, what does that do? That was really weird. Well, I can try and counter his next play. Is that worth it? I don't know, guys. Yeah, I guess we wait. It's kind of sad. I don't think waiting is correct. I think that was a mistake. AK for 1 is fine. I think we made a mistake there. Oh well. Sure. Sure. Ooh, he's trying to kill our lands. What the hell? Well, he's just sitting on counter magic? Is that the deal? Well, this game's playing out kind of strangely. I'm actually just going to sit. It doesn't really look like he has a sweeper. We could punish him, but there's a couple things we can do here. I'm not going to counter anything on my end step. Why Rancid Earth? That's really weird. Oh, it does 1 damage to each creature, that's why. Sorcery? Yeah. Alright, doing this. That's why I opted to make this play. Because it's aggro control all the way, guys. Hooah, hooah, hooah. Bing. And I think we have to do this. I mean, this is getting absurd. We have to hit our lands. It's just not an option. Alright, perfect. 3 Delvers. I hope that is good enough. If that's not good enough, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Obviously, he's got those Rancid Earths, so we have to be careful, but... So we have a Snap to counter something that costs 2 or less. We have Counterspell to counter his big ones. Yeah, I'm fine with that. We can also just Snap it, though. But I'm fine with that. That's no big deal. I don't really care about him killing 1 Spell Stutter Sprite. That kind of indicates that he's got Sweepers, but we'll see. I think he's sitting on a lot of counter magic. So at this point, I think we go for the counter. He might put us in a position where we have to play all of our Delvers, but I'm a little afraid of that. So do we try to counter or do we try to snap? I think we try to snap. EOT. And then he counters it, and then maybe we can get something. Seems like he has a couple counters, though. He has a Dispel. Ouch. Okay. How many Delvers are we willing to... We have a 3rd one coming up. Let's attack first. Now we have to race this big Gurmag Angler, so maybe I made a mistake. But we have 3 Delvers coming up. They're not flipping for a while. Okay, I'm going to play 2. We kind of have to now play into this position. I think I was way too conservative earlier. I think now we might be paying the price. Okay. Ooh, he has Stormbound Geist. Oh, man. For 2 cards, huh? Alright. Gulp. Alright, this is not looking so bad. I mean, we are taking 5. We're not flipping for a minute. We're playing a Delver, and then we don't know what's on the top of our deck. Okay. Okay. Do I play the other Delver? Or do I go to... He's going to Thought Scour right now. Thought Scoured me. Okay, so he got the Delver, but he also got the island. And now we do flip. Ah ha ha ha. Perfect. So he actually Thought Scoured us into Delver. Okay. Ooh, we got a counterspell, though. I could have countered it, but I don't want to. No. This is kind of nice. I also get a Geist. Do I just counter that, guys? I think so. Because we need to keep up with the race. What are you doing now? I think he's just F6ing. Ooh, he took 4. It's kind of rough. We'll see what happens. So I don't think he's playing sweepers. I mean, we saw all of these random one mana spells. Ooh, that is his sweeper, really. Okay, we can maybe race this, but it's gonna be tough. 3 cards. Yeah, this is sick. This is disgusting. Alright, we can't block. So this game is... We need like Curse of Chains. We definitely need Treasure Cruise, but it looks like he's got counters. I think we misplayed this pretty badly. So do I attack? I'm at 9. I'm actually dead. Alright, we don't attack then. Alright, that was terrible. I think I should have ran out there way earlier. Yeah, I played that really poorly. I think we want this. Well, let's see. Rancid Earth is not an instant. Yeah, so now we have a little more that we can think about. We're on the play. Relic, I think, is actually still moderately useful, believe it or not. I think we can kind of leave it. His deck is the Rancid Earth is actually pretty cool against us because of the one damage, but it requires Threshold. A Dispel for his Dispel might be good. The Arrows doesn't fight quite enough because he has the Stormbound Geist. So maybe we lose it and we bring in a Dispel. Because we don't... It's too defensive of a card for us being on the play. So we're going to try like this. Let's get this game, guys. I'm serious. Let's do it. Yeah, we'll keep. No threats yet, but we can ponder into them, which we're going to try right now. I don't need to get the Bone Splitter out immediately. So we have a Sprite, a Golem, and another Ponder. I think that's great. All that really matters is that we get the Sprite next turn. Other stuff will kind of go with us. Yeah, so this looks good. I'm feeling pretty good about this. We have to be careful not to get hit with Rancid Earth to set us back, but other than that, actually he needs Threshold for that to be useful. Okay, so that's his start. He lost 2 of his treasure cruises, so that's pretty cool. So we can stop one of his cantrips and get a threat, so that's looking cool. I think he's gonna anything he plays here. I'll just flash it in then. That's fine. I'm actually gonna ponder instead of playing the Bone Splitter. Actually, I guess the Bone Splitter is more important to resolve. So I'll play the Bone Splitter. I will attack first, though. Okay, he's getting ready to do big things. But I think we can maybe counter it. Let's find out. That's it, huh? That's all you got? Ooh, a Delver. I think we just keep up the pressure, no? So I think we play a... That really sets us up for a Rancid Earth, but we can counter it, so that's fine. I don't think he's got a counter for this. He might have a removal spell. We're just going to let that go. Our clocks are nearly identical. Yep, that's fine. So he might go for the Rancid Earth. He might go with a Disfigure. Nope. Not quite yet. If he goes for like a Treasure Cruise, I think I can let him have it. He's actually just going to pass. So he's sitting on some removal spells. Not going to reveal, but that's actually not bad. If he wants to kill something, I'm just going to let him do it. I really... That's not important. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, we don't want this many lands, especially when the only thing we get with that is Cloud of Fae. So we end up getting a Cloud of Fae anyway, but I'm going to play that next turn. And if he kills this, that's also fine. I think he's just... I mean, obviously this is what his deck does. He's got to play all these cantrips out and stuff and try and set things up. But typically, like with Brainstorm and stuff, a lot of people have suggested that you actually hold your Brainstorms until a very crucial point in the game. You actually want to wait on the Brainstorm and have as much information as possible before you fire those off. Obviously, in Treasure Cruise land, in a world where filling up the graveyard is of the utmost importance, I can see why you would want to cast Brainstorm here. But none of this stuff actually matters. Like, if he kills a Spellstar Sprite, it doesn't matter. The only things we really fight over are Angler and Treasure Cruise. And we'll fight over Duress because otherwise he gets to see our card and kill the counterspell, but... Oh, he dispelled it. So now he takes Curse of Chains. We're going to try and flood the board, which dies to Rancid Earth, but he's still pretty low. Is this just Treasure Cruise? Okay, but he probably can find his Angler and cast it. He has to get rid of accumulated knowledge, though. Okay, we at least get to flood the board. That's nice. That's fine. So we can afford to do this. I don't think I want these. I mean, Snap stops Angler, but we're in a position to race right now. So I think I prefer that. Unfortunately, we're hell-bent, but, you know, a Treasure Cruise can get us out of that. He maybe boards out a Deprive. I don't think we've seen any. We still got to deal with this board. There's a Stormbound Geist, which we can fight with the Spire Golem. But he can also disfigure. So is it really worth it? He's played one disfigure. Don't think it's worth it yet. I think we actually wait. If he disfigures, it becomes a 2/2. Yeah, I think we wait a turn. I don't think we play this land either. I think we just wait a turn. Well, Stormbound Geist does hurt our deck quite a bit. We have 3 in our deck as well. He's going to try and kill something. Well, he sat on our EOTs, which is kind of interesting. So now he's going to draw 2 cards. Fortunately, he's used up 3 of his cruises. He's seeing like so much of his deck, though. It's going to be a problem. Going to be a big problem. No anglers yet. Let's preordain. Yeah, I want the cruise. I think I want Spellstutter Sprite as well. Now I think we can afford to try and fight over the disfigure, no? Even though he's going to counter it. So we get the Treasure Cruise, hopefully. Yep, he's got the answer. Alright. So, not a guarantee that we're getting Treasure Cruise. This was maybe jumping the gun a bit. I'm not sure. Yeah, that was probably loose. Depressing. Upkeep. Do we go for the Treasure Cruise anyway? I don't know. We've only seen like one hard counter. Okay, there's his other Duress. Another Geist. I think we have to go for it. Do we trade with this? I don't think so. He's leaving up a counter spell. I mean, he would have played anything else. I'm gonna wait. Wait, he knows we have the land, so we'll play it. Then again, what are the odds of another Duress? I don't think they're high. He's done. Oh, he's only used 2. I'm gonna go for it. I know this is bad. Hang on a second. I'm gonna get all the creatures in case he plays Crypt Incursion. He's like, yes, please play that. Yep. Well, I think I really screwed this matchup. This is awful. But he's got a lot of good tools that are beating us too. It's not just on account of me. Okay, that doesn't do a whole lot. It does get him in for some damage. Wow. Now he's getting Angler. Yeah, this is going to pretty much put us underground. Wow, okay. So we're going to have to fight it out tooth and nail in round 4. Unbelievable. This deck has gotten better. We could maybe Treasure Cruise out of it. This ain't going to be good enough. I mean, we're actually... that's kind of good. I mean, we want to actually draw Treasure Cruise, so I don't know if that even helps us. This is a blocker for one turn. Maybe that's okay. I mean, what does it cycle us into? I don't think we actually can do anything. Curse of Chains. But I think we have to draw it naturally. I don't think we can go to 1. It's probably just going to kill this and then we lose, but... yeah. That's going to be game. There's nothing we can draw at this point. So, yeah. Getting beat down by our own tech. Smart thinking on his part. I don't think Rancid Earth is worth playing in this matchup. Even though it's like owning us every possible time. He could be playing Justice or Shrivel, and both of those I think would be more efficient. Ooh, too late though. Alright. We're going to take so much damage here. Okay, that's it. Okay, we're going 2-1. We're going to have to win the next round to do anything. So sketchy! Let's see what he said. Can we see it? GG's! Alright, GG's, guys. GG's. Round 4. This is the end of the road. We're going to keep this hand on the play. We can ponder into some threats. We have a double snap, which is not necessarily great, but we're going to see what happens. This hand is definitely not a mulligan. So let's go ahead and get started here. We don't know what the opponent's playing, but we do know we want some permission. I don't want 2 lands and a ponder. I guess we can take... no, I'm going to shuffle this. We have another ponder. We want to do something meaningful, so... Cloud of Fairies is definitely counts because we can get Ninja online, hopefully. I think we've faced blue decks all day long, and now it's Affinity! No! 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 At least he doesn't have a... at least he does not have a turn 1 thing. Looks like... yeah, no, it is Affinity. So this could be pretty bad for us. So I see a lot of land... wow, I see an Ornithopter. 2 Tree of Tails, a Cruise. This hand is not great. Citadel, Wellspring, Fling. Alright, so we took some damage there. I'm going to go ahead of Cloud of Fae. We could also ponder this turn. I mean, he could cast Ornithopter, but he's probably casting Ornithopter and Prism, right? I don't think we want to cash in the snap for Ninja. I think we're actually okay. I think we're just going to pass and see what he does. This is not a great matchup. His opening hand's pretty bad. So he just drew that. I'm going to wait a second. Let him have it. So Wellspring's gone. We know the other 6. He's going to go up to 7. Probably play Ornithopter. So that's going to resolve. I'm not going to snap it just to get Ninja in. Seems pretty weak. At least not yet. There's our counter spell. Very nice. We want all of this. We're going to take the Sprite first. We're going to take the counter spell, I think, last, because we want to get the get that land drop next turn. And actually flashing in the Sprite is going to give us Ninja, so we have a pretty solid game plan here. Probably seeing a tree. Thought cast. We're going to let it go. I want to counter his creature threats. I think he's going to play a tree, so... there's a drum, which we can counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's go ahead and counter that. Because we want to get the Spell Stutter Sprite down anyway. Oops. And any threat he can play here is pretty much just a Frogmite. Dude, what the heck? Okay, Citadel. He had another drum anyway. So he doesn't actually have any threats though. Ah, Terrarion. Ornithopter's gone. So we know he has Treasure Cruise. So now we're going to start busting him. And I think this is going to be pretty good for us. Repurchasing the Spellstutter Sprite. Alright, we knew about that. And then I think, yeah, we don't know what's on top of our deck. Alright, so we don't care about Fling. There's one of his trees. We know he has Treasure Cruise, which is going to cost him 6 mana. Perilous Research. So we can actually just counter that, and he doesn't have enough mana. We can snap any creature he has and then counter it, so I think we're okay with that. He can't play a Tog and Fling, so we can snap and then counter it. Yeah, I really like our position right now. I think we actually know his entire hand. And he can't cruise, so he's going to just get bruised. Yeah, we'll just Alpha Strike. Don't need to snap. This is looking pretty good. If he doesn't block the ninja, I'm going to want to turn off my auto yields. Yep. I was thinking that might happen. Beautiful. Alright, so we're still in this game. So all we really need from him is some mana screw. So we knew about that. Cruise, Fling, and one unknown. And I think that's okay. He can only profitably block these, so. The fact that he's playing Ornithopters is pretty good for us. Maybe this is a budget thing, which would actually be nice for us. So Cruise costs 4. I have 2 counters. I can stop the Cruise. That's fine. So Cruise and Fling still. He's going to crack this again. Cruise is getting cheaper and cheaper, but I think the plan is just to counter it at this point. So he has Fling, one unknown. Very slow hand in terms of affinity. Ooh, that's pretty nice for us. I don't think we want the snap, but I'll take a third Treasure Cruise. Or sorry, our first Treasure Cruise. We can cash that in later. Just going to save my snaps. Only thing I would really counter at this point is actually a Tog, because he can pretty much fling us for lethal if we get too cocky. Alright, we're going to draw another card. Another ninja. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, we can race that, we can block it, we can do a number of things. We also might just want to snap it to get Treasure Cruise going. And also because as a blocker, I mean, I guess he could fling it, but I'm going to actually let him do that if he wants. Now we can flash in Ninja, or, yeah. So we flash in Ninja. Maybe we just leave up 2 counter spells at this point. That seems a little better. We can also cruise for 2 and maybe have up. I think it's actually fine just to leave up 2 counter spells. He might be sandbagging something interesting. I don't know. We use one more snap and then we can Treasure Cruise for. He's giving us a lot of free cards too, so I think, you know, I mean, it's not optimal for him, but we can play that. So now he's pretty much dead. Yes, this is fine. So Fling and one unknown. So he can go to 1. I think we can just go for the snap on an Ornithopter. And he can go to 1 up top. Actually, it kills him because we flash in Ninja. So he has to go for Fling. And then we counter. I mean, we could Treasure Cruise if we want here. Yeah, that seems fine. We could also play this if we want, but let's do this first. Hurry up! His hand is Ornithopter, Fling, and 1 unknown. He can only use 1 red. So, I mean, even if he flings, what's going on? I'm going to check my connection, guys. Well, yeah, I think it's okay. Even if he flings, maybe he's just wondering if he should fling. We could also just let it go, but I don't think we're going to. Ornithopter gives you some explosive drum draws. Okay, so now I don't think there's any way we possibly lose. So he has to block 1 of these to get through. He's at 6. So I can pump the Spire Golem, and that's 6. So I think we just attack with every flyer. And we have 2 counter spells to back it up. So we can counter the Fling and potentially anything else that he has. Alright, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. Well, we steal game 1. I don't know what's going to happen after that, but being ahead game 1 and also being on the play for game 3 seems pretty good. Target player gets +1, -1 until end of turn. Let's try that. So he didn't even respond with the fling. So I think our opponent might be new to the deck or new to the format. So I hope that's going to help us out a little bit as well. So just rechecking what they have. Pretty much the stuff you see in Affinity, but he's also playing Ornithopter. We saw Fling, so we have to assume a Tog is not far behind. Really weird draw on his part also. I think Charm doesn't do anything. I mean, the typical cards that we consider cutting go into the mix, and then we kind of come out on the other end with stuff that we actually want. This is okay. This is okay. I don't know how many we want. Dispel hits Perilous Research as well. Yeah, I actually like Dispel in this matchup, I think. Ninja connects like 1 time and then it doesn't ever connect again. That's not great. I think we want some combination of these and one of these or something. Yeah, Ninja basically is going to hit him once. I mean, it might put him on the defensive, but... And maybe Hydroblast, the third one, is better than one of these cards. I don't know that this is going to do anything for us. That's a lot of Hydroblast, but it might be correct. I think we try it like this. Right, I mean, he has so much that defends Ninja. However, that game, Ninja single-handedly won it for us. Maybe we leave in 1 or 2. Yeah, we'll try this. And I'm not 100% on it, but we're gonna feel things out. And this is a keepable hand, so we'll see what the opponent also keeps. It's a keepable hand. So we can deal with some stuff. And does he have a turn 1? Should this time. Yep, he's going for the drum. 2 Ornithopters doesn't seem like it does. Oh, that's what it does. Get you a turn 1 Frogmite. That's pretty cool. Alright. Ponder. Yeah, so it's a more explosive, potentially. Alright, we want Golem. I guess we want Snap. I guess we want all of this. And we want that 3rd land in the next 2 draw steps. I think we want... we may want Snap at that point too. So I think we do something like this. That seems correct. We'll see what kind of damage he can do to us in the meantime. But we have quite a bit to deal with the board. It just depends on how big of creatures he's going to hit us with. So this is 5 artifacts, so he could hit us with a Enforcer here. This seems like it's potentially explosive, but it could also backfire if he doesn't have the right fixing and all that. He might not even be playing Forgers, which is kind of interesting. So we cast this. I don't think there's any merit in snapping Frogmite. We might do it EOT. I mean, he can do it for free, so it actually doesn't do anything. Maybe we preordain a couple times, because we're not really doing anything this turn. He didn't do anything last turn, so I think we preordain. We need the 4th land eventually, I guess. So I guess we'll keep it. Any other lands will go away. Yeah. Alright, so we have the next few turns kind of planned out. I'm not sure how we're winning. We basically have to stabilize with Spire Golem, hope that he's color screwed, and yeah, it looks like he is. So that could buy us some time. Because these Ornithopters aren't doing much. They're basically defensive creatures. I imagine he's got some kind of equipment for them. Nope, he's got something here. That draws a card. But still no fixing. So I think we actually just tap out with the Spire Golem. And he can get aggressive, so that's good. We can actually surprise him with the arrows, but I don't even think that's worth it. Killing a Ornithopter? Alright, so now we're at risk of a Spire Golem. Or, sorry, Enforcer. Ooh, no attacks. Looking good for us. So, do we want to try and trick this Ornithopter? I don't think that does enough. I think we want to save arrows for something better. So I think I just send the Golem and we start... Do we start racing? I think we need to start pressuring him. I definitely feel like we need to start pressuring him. And it might get to the point where we want to use the Golems. And I think we do throw out the arrows. If he's got nothing else, we will start pinging down that Frogmite. We can start attacking with both also, just because I might actually even trade the Frogmite with the Cloud. We'll see. We need to put stuff in our graveyard soon so that we can start playing the Cruise. He's got nothing in his yard, so that's good for us if he's got Treasure Cruise in hand. Looks like he's just really color screwed this time. Last time he was flooded. We want to take advantage of this as best as possible. So I think we actually want to kill this. And he made Perilous Research, but I'm willing to accept that. Interesting build of Affinity, and he's had some really strange draws. But I'm doing this for a reason. I have Treasure Cruise coming. Okay, I'm going to F6. What's he going to sack? The Wellspring, right? Yeah, that's pretty good interaction. Did he find a land? 6 artifacts, so now we might see a Mirror Enforcer. I have the answer for that. Alright, I'm just going to go for this. Okay, so a lot of goodies. We just need to untap and hope that he does not do anything insane on the next turn. And I think we actually have a decent shot of stealing this game. Okay, there's green, so we're looking at Carapace Forger. Okay, that's going to resolve. He actually might be able to Treasure Cruise on us this turn. Yeah, he's got a lot of draw, but not as many creatures. We haven't seen Forger. We've only seen Enforcer, Frogmite, and Ornithopter. Very weird. Yeah, this card's kind of a do-nothing, aside from the openings. I mean, he's got to be playing some equipment, right? And he's got 7 cards, any color he wants. I'm very perplexed. Very, very perplexed. Alright, we'll just bash. See what happens. We got a lot of interaction, so I can actually counter a 2-drop by playing both spell stutters out. So that will get rid of a forger. If he just tries to Galv Blast this, I think I'm fine with that. Okay, I am going to let that... Maybe I just counter that. Because we could arrows it, but we also might want to arrow something bigger. We're going to play these spell stutter sprites anyway, get them some value, so I'm going to try and kill that. Yeah, he's very clearly playing a Tog, so... You can also kill it. That gets rid of his only red, so then we can be fine with throwing out that other spell stutter sprite. And she's on the battlefield, so if he had a Doomblade in this spot, we could also go for... Okay, so I think we're just going to do this. I think that's actually fine. And we can actually, if we want, use the arrows now to start killing his guys, because we're getting pretty offensive here. He might go for a treasure cruise. Ooh, that's interesting. So a Tog I will also counter. We just want that off the board. You know what? We can kill it with serrated arrows, so I think we're actually fine. Now he's going for that. That I will counter. But he's pulled back in the game because he's made us use like all our resources on that one turn, so that was pretty crazy. Ping you. And ping you. Just to make that clear. Just to make myself clear. Very good draw for that next counter spell. So that kind of worked out actually. I mean, we would have been able to sprite the Tog, I think. Okay, so he got a card out of it. Doesn't really matter. And he's probably just going to block the 1/1s. Could play my land. I guess it's fine. Still got a lot of interactivity. Alright, he's got 6 cards. Chromatic Star is going to resolve. Our game plan is to just kill that stuff. Mirror Enforcer is fine. We can deal with it. A Tog is not okay. Because at any point in time, he can just hit us with a fling. So I think it's correct to counter him. Cool. Glad that worked. If he has another one, I'm going to snap it EOT. Wow, he's going hog wild. So this is going to be very interesting, but I am going to snap it at EOT. It does buy us a turn to figure out what we want to do. And it keeps him on 1 red so that he can't just fling at any point in time. So I kind of like that. Spire Golem. So I think we just attack. We're going to save the curse now for that Atog. Though unfortunately he has ways to break it. And then hopefully that's enough to get us on track to win. I'm really hoping we can win this game. Because I'm hoping he has no pyroblasts, but he's got everything else. So maybe, I mean, I think maybe it's a budget version, but it's kind of hard to say. So he can attack me for 4. He's going to start taking 4 a turn, but I can race it at the current clip. So I think I'm going to just curse that. And then we have snap on our sprites, which can protect us from a lot of things. So I think we're just going to try and race and hope that he doesn't draw like crazy from here on out. we drop him down to 6 now. So we got to hit him 2 more times. He has to hit us 3 more times, basically. So that's 3 Atogs. Basically just racing. That doesn't change the clock, because I'm fine with that. And we can't stop it anyway. Okay, so we're going to 8, and then we're going to 2. He's going to 2. If I draw a... I don't have Piracy Charm, so... I guess that doesn't matter. Snapping an Ornithopter doesn't change the clock. Ooh, man. Is he going for it? Oh, crap. No! Oh, I have Snap on my Spell Stutter Sprite. Awesome. Alright, good. I hope he doesn't have an answer. Oh, that was close. It'd be funny if he sacks the Ornithopters, too. I was getting worried. For a moment there, I thought we were in trouble. Now, he might have Dispel. But we gotta try it. Hang on. Let's make sure that he's targeting me. Targeting Bamboo Rush. You shouldn't have targeted me, man. I don't much like that. I really hope this works. Ding. So his last card could be Galv Blast, and that could still be a problem. In which case we can just send the 2 Golems and chump block. Yeah, I think it's the same difference, really. Because he either chumps, and then he's dead next turn. Ooh, perfect. Alright. So, well, no, he's at 6. So now if I chump block... I think this is still okay. I'm going to chump block. It protects us from something horrible. We could draw our 1 of Ninja and win the game. Oh, this also forces him to blast one of our things. So we just equip one of the Golems, right? And then he has to blast it. We leave the Spell Stutter Sprite back, I think. Playing around double blast. He could also have another fling. I think we can afford to be conservative here. It's dangerous, but... So he's just Grixis, basically. We haven't seen... I think he dumped Carapace Forger. And I don't know what he's doing now. He might just have nothing. Yeah, he could have nothing, too, and then we just win. So that's also cool. Just checking connection and all that. What do you guys think? Do you think he's got a Galvanic Blast? Do you think that he has the answer that would have justified our weird, somewhat weird chump block in the last turn? Do you think that right now victory is upon us and we're just sitting here pondering the many mysteries of life? It's hard to say, but I am glad we left in this Bone Splitter. I will tell you that much. So, okay, let's actually get serious for a moment. If his hand is double Galv Blast, he can Galv Blast the Spire Golem and go to 4. Then we chump his Mirror Enforcer. Then we equip our Spire Golem and he kills it. That actually puts us in a pretty bad position too. But that's really... I think that's kind of unlikely. So... I mean, I don't know if he's just disconnected at this point. I don't know what's going on, or if he's really figuring out what he should do here. If he has double Galv Blast, there's no great way to play around it. Attacking with all the guys doesn't change our clock. I mean, I could have equipped the Sprite and attack, but then he can beat us with just 1 Galv Blast. We're playing around 1 Galv Blast right now. So... if he kills this Golem, he goes to 4, and 1 Galv Blast doesn't save him from the Spire Golem being equipped next turn and dealing 4. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're also kind of under the assumption that we're going to draw into something relevant, another Ponder, or another Treasure Cruise, or a Curse of Chains. I mean, that we have a pretty good chance of drawing one of those. So I think it's okay to play around one Gallop Blast. If he casts Fling, then we're actually even in better shape because he now has no board. We're at 8, and you know, so that I don't know what else to think about. I can't think of any other. I'm glad we were somehow able to deal with 3 Atogs. How insane! That's not usually what happens, guys. Let me tell you. And we countered this. That was an interesting option. I mean, we could have also used arrows, but arrows ended up getting an Atog, so that kind of made me feel a little justified in playing this card in this matchup. Yeah. If these were Carapace Forgers in either of those games, I think we would have gotten. Well, this one he kept an all blue hand, so that wouldn't have worked. He would have had to mulligan that. I mean, game one he was really flooded, so I'm just gonna sit here. I don't know if he disconnected. It's possible he did. But this is interesting, guys. Ornithopter is now legal, as you can see. In M15, it was printed at common. I haven't really heard anyone talk about that, but it is kind of interesting. It's such a historically, it's been a pretty well played card in the Affinity modern version of Affinity, and you've seen this in Quest for the Holy Relic decks and all kinds of Tempered Steel type decks. So, can it do anything in Pauper? I think without any way for it to actually fight, I'm going to say no. If you play Bone Splitters or something, then you can at least consider it, but I still don't know that it's a great choice. Yeah, you're not really getting any value out of this. I mean, any other threat I would like, not literally any, but any of the normal affinity threats like Somber Hoverguard, Auriok Sun Chaser, Carapace Forger, any of those reasonably priced ones, I think would likely do better than Ornithopter, unless you can really cut the deck in a way where you're having these explosive Springleaf Drum type plays all the time. I think you'd have to use like Lotus Petals and other things too, though, and that seems a little all in, a little risky. But anyway, his clock is ticking down. I'm almost 100%. Well, I don't know how sure I am that we're connected. I think we are, though. Maybe I should try to chat with somebody. There's nobody. My friends are. They're all gone. They've all forsaken me. So, yeah, I'm just gonna pray that we're still here. I think. I think we are. We're connected. That's what it says. So, I'll just sit here. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know what's going on. But we'll just enjoy the silence, the rare moment of silence that the Pauper format is allowing us at this moment. Here's the deck list. Is it going to be 3-1? Is it going to be coming to a website near you? A results list near you? Very hard to tell at this moment, but I'm hoping it will. That is great art. This card is an all-star. Really is. You would think, I mean, 2/2 flyer that becomes a 3/3 flyer. It can't block anything on the ground. It's basically just a card that's a 2-for-1, right? But it's so well positioned. It's pretty crazy. It's been the all-star so far. I mean, Curse of Chains has been relevant in a lot of matchups because blue just has such a hard time dealing with creatures otherwise. We dodged the tokens matchup finally. So Echoing Truth wasn't really needed. Relic, when we did bring one copy in, didn't do anything for us. It actually hurt us. So that's something we should probably look at. The one Dispel, I haven't been able to justify bringing in more than one against a lot of decks because there's just not a lot I like to take out. You kind of see me bored out of the same cards every time, so it's one of those things. Hydroblast can be amazing, but didn't really see it enter play at all tonight, but that's fine. Alright guys, we did it. 3-1 finish. Finally redeeming ourselves. And we're cashing out, so able to take down 3 different blue decks, even though this is not traditionally a blue deck. It does draw a ton of cards, as you can see. We were really lucky in this matchup particularly, and I think round 3 we had our biggest blunders and stuff. I'm not sure if we would have won anyway. I was really happy also to beat the blue-red control matchup, which typically wants to be killing off Delver. So we beat a mirror match that was actually better set up to draw through its deck and play Treasure Cruise. We beat blue-red control, then we dropped to the Dimir Angler deck with some tech against us, including Stormbound Geist and some sweepers, and then we beat this interesting affinity build. So that's it, guys. I want to thank you very much for checking out this daily event action. Let me know what you think of the deck list, the content, the playing, the talking, the romance, the thrills, the chills. And thank you once again here at Dime a dozen.